Anyway, tonight's first contest is set for 1-4. Introducing first.
Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to Bognor Regis. Welcome to the FWA Academy Supercard IV. We've got a packed out house here at the Arun Leisure Centre, and making his way through the curtain in the very first match of the evening is none other than the human dynamo, Max Voltage. Tornadoing his way around the ringside at breakneck pace, somersaulting into the ring. The high-flying and explosive Max Voltage, ready to make his mark against young Aviv Maayan. Aviv Maayan, of course, teaming up with Max Voltage just a couple of shows prior to this. Both Maayan and Voltage united in their distaste for the Chavs. However, it remains to be seen how these two will fare going against each other one-on-one. Maayan looking in absolutely unbelievable condition, as always.
Introducing first on my right from Portsmouth, weighing 170 pounds, the human dynamo, Max Voltage! And his opponent residing in Winchester, Aviv Maayan!
Dear oh dear, a slightly more mixed reaction for Aviv Maayan. Voltage getting himself acquainted with the fans here at Bognor, and Voltage proffering a hand for a sportsmanlike shake. Aviv Maayan having none of it, however. Hard collar and elbow tie-up. And Aviv Maayan, goodness me, threatening. No, we've got a clean break. And Maayan not doing his best to make friends here at Bognor. A hard collar and elbow tie-up. Both men really leaning in. And Voltage switching. And breaking off there. Before the 5, and Aviv Maayan climbing through the ropes. Claiming that his hair was pulled. Utter nonsense. Voltage now ducking, being taken down with a waistlock takedown by Aviv Maayan. Voltage rolling through, searching for a top wrist lock. Switching, but Aviv Maayan nipping straight up. Dear oh dear, almost losing him, but maintaining a grip of that wrist. Voltage nipping to his feet with a lovely reversal of his own. Maayan, however, unbelievable maneuver there, a beautiful back somersault to feet and a hammerlock. Voltage twisting around and ensuring that Maayan hits the floor with authority. Maayan, however, pressuring Voltage into the ropes. Voltage having no choice other than to break the hold of Maayan with an opportunistic forearm and a great big throw, stemming from Maayan's storied judo background. At just a second, Maayan wrenching the eyes and face of Voltage. I don't know if the referee, Steve Linsky, quite aware of what was going on there. Aviv Maayan landing on his feet, Voltage taking him down, however, and both men leaping to their feet, much to the approval of the crowd. And Voltage again, proffering a hand, but Maayan with a disrespectful shove. Maayan looking for a forearm, Voltage ducking underneath, charging with a shoulder, and these two colliding, neither man going down. But Voltage second-guessing Maayan and scoring with the handspring back elbow. Irish whip reversed, however. Back body drop attempt, Voltage landing on his feet and scoring with a Hurricane Rana out of nowhere. And the fans firmly behind Voltage now, who scores with a drop kick through the ropes. And Voltage taking to the air, but no, oh Lord! The arrogant smile on the face of Aviv Maayan saying it all. Voltage sent flying, face first into the apron and then into that chair. Maayan, ever so proud of himself. And a hard shot to the gut. Maayan cutting corners at every opportunity. Flinging Voltage back in. Oh Lord. And a kick to the gut again. Very unsportsmanlike. And Maayan, dear oh dear. A one-legged cover. And Voltage attempting to fire back with a few forearms, somewhat ineffectually off the floor. And a backbreaker there, Maayan favouring the leg a little. Voltage kicking out again, however. Maayan with a hard forearm, Irish whip, and a lovely manoeuvre there from Maayan. Rolling nip up, straight into a drop kick to the chest. 1, 2. And Voltage kicking out once more. Maayan getting infuriated. The crowd in full support of Voltage. Maayan with the obvious strength advantage, powering down. And Voltage bridging up. Only to be broken with a knee again. Voltage bridging up. pushing Maayan, goodness me, into the ropes. And Lord Almighty, a sunset flip out of nowhere. And Voltage knocked out of his boots by Maayan with that thunderous lariat. And hold on just a second. Voltage flailing as Aviv Maayan using his shin to choke the living daylights out of the human dynamo. Another vicious forearm. Irish whip. Oh, Lord Almighty, Aviv Maayan. Spitting, I believe. At a fan. Charging in for another. But Voltage firing back with an elbow and a boot. Voltage is sitting in the middle buckle. Scoring with a stomp. Oh, goodness me. Voltage, I believe, looking for the handspring again, but cut off by Maayan with a drop kick. Maayan flagrantly choking Voltage against the ropes. And again. And again. Maayan ducking down, and now with a grounded chin lock on Voltage. And hold on just a second, Aviv Maayan walking up the ropes, using them for leverage. Maayan not afraid to cut every corner conceivable in this matchup. Voltage attempting to turn it round and apply the pressure of that surfboard to Aviv Maayan. But Maayan turning with the momentum, and Voltage finding a way out there into a pinning predicament. Maayan, however, escaping and decimating Voltage with a back elbow. Voltage doing all he can to fire back with forearms. Maayan cutting him straight off, however. Hard forearm to the side of the head. Voltage, however, ducking out and scoring with a great big back body drop. Off the ropes. And there it is, the DDT. 1, 2, and oh! 2 count only. Voltage out of nowhere. Successfully making a comeback. And Voltage on the top rope now, looking for that 450. Rolling through again. Scoring with a drop kick. Voltage. Max Factor attempt unsuccessful. Maayan looking to put him away with the brain buster. Voltage landing on his feet. Looking for that maneuver again. Oh, Lord. High angle powerbomb by Aviv Maayan. thunderous reversal to the max factor by Maayan, who despite his attitude problems remains a phenomenal wrestler. And Maayan looking for that Viva Las Vegas voltage. Just about making his way to his feet. Maayan looking for another slam. Hard boot to the face. Voltage, however, leaping up with a vicious forearm. Springboarding up. And there is the diamond cutter. And Aviv Maayan just about kicking out. My goodness me. Such a high impact maneuver. Voltage with an STO. Leg sweep for Maayan. And now Voltage apparently looking for the Viva Las Vegas himself. Doesn't quite get it, however, and Maayan looking for the max factor. My God, 1, 2. And a kick out just about by Voltage. And referee Steve Linsky asserting his authority in the matchup. Giving Aviv Maayan what for. Maayan looking for the coup de grace. Voltage, however, reversing and drilling Maayan directly onto the point of his forehead. My God. Both wrestlers just about managing to beat the 10 count. Voltage with the tilt-a-whirl DDT. Maayan catching him and drilling him with a brainbuster. And there it is. A victorious Aviv Maayan in the opening contest. Voltage, barely conscious of where he is. And Aviv Maayan showing a bit of respect finally. He's taken it, he's hold on just a second. Maayan flinging him to the floor and proving that he is just as arrogant as everybody thought, having his hand raised. Maayan victorious in the opening contest.
because these two competitors are partners and friends with the competitors in the cage match later tonight. The following contest is set for one fall, introducing first.
The following matchup dictating the order of entry for the participants in the ominous steel cage match taking place later tonight. The second cage match in Academy history. And a rematch between the Chavs and the Entourage. It's Wade Fitzgerald, the stoic and diminutive young fighter, a mixed martial artist with a Lilliputian frame, a Herculean physique, and the heart of a lion. And his opponent, none other than Tommy Langford. The miserable and aggressive Chavs. A completely different philosophy to the silent work ethic of the Entourage.
Introducing first on my left, representing the Entourage. From Portsmouth, he is a former under-18s British Taekwondo and mixed martial arts champion, Wade Fitzgerald. And his opponent from outside the Aviv, Fratton Road, Tommy Langford.
The Chavs versus the Entourage. Dear oh dear, Steve Linsky surely sullying his hands by touching the unwashed clothing of the Chavs. And Fitzgerald, of course, with that bizarre hybrid martial arts style and diminutive size. Flung back high onto his shoulders by Langford. Fitzgerald again. Fitzgerald then rolling backwards, but again pushed away. Fitzgerald again rolling backwards. And this time rolling Tommy Langford backwards. Only to be lifted up. And goodness me, slammed across the ring. Incredible disrespect shown by the Chavs at all times. Spinning heel kick Straight to the back, however. Second one caught. And an enziguri clipping Langford round the side of the head. Fitzgerald, goodness me, distracted by Langford and then sent tumbling head first into the turnbuckle. As always, Fitzgerald's size making things so much harder for him. A natural disadvantage. Langford looking for another Beal toss, but Fitzgerald using those heavy-handed strikes, only to be crotched viciously by Langford. And another vicious hurling from the top rope. Langford wrenching the ears of Fitzgerald and smashing him into the mat. Irish whip into the buckle. Fitzgerald with a back elbow and a drop toe hold. Dan James, the champ, looking on in concern. And a drop kick to the back of the head. And Fitzgerald leaping on. That dragon clutch submission. Langford flailing wildly, managing to lift Fitzgerald into a power slam. Irish whip and a standing spine buster. Langford so carefree and disdainful. Fitzgerald, however, battering his way out. Looking for a back elbow, or a back fist rather, only to be drilled into the turnbuckle again. Irish whip, Fitzgerald putting the brakes on. Kick to the... Good Lord. Langford looking for a sunset flip into a power bomb. Fitzgerald landing on his feet. And a tilt-a-whirl into that dragon clutch. Only to be taken round into a leg lace. Langford heading for the hills, and it appears as though he may be busted. Hard series of knees to the face, and Fitzgerald rolling up, looking for a Hurricane Rana, I believe, but a powerbomb directly into the turnbuckle puts paid to that effort. Lateral press. Hard series of forearm shots, followed up by a shoulder tackle and a sidewalk slam. Langford looking for that bust-stop buster, but Wade Fitzgerald with the dragon clutch again. Ever so tenacious, with such a bizarre selection of moves. that most of his opponents barely know where to begin. And a sunset flip by Wade Fitzgerald. Nice high angle with the shoulders locked, but Langford managing to worm his way out. Savat kick by Wade. And a series of kicks to the chest. Good Lord. Langford blocking one. And again looking for that bust-up buster, a roll-up however. Another selection of kicks. And Fitzgerald looking for that brutal stomp. Looking for the knockout kick. Langford avoiding both, sending Fitzgerald down to the floor. Fitzgerald attempting to recuperate. Dan James looking on malevolently. That FWA Academy Championship belt sickeningly still in his possession. Hard series of shots. And Langford looking for that double underhook suplex he likes to use. There it is, and that elbow drop. Lord Almighty, there's the bust-up buster. And a kick out. Up top, we don't normally see this from Langford. And an elbow drop missing its mark. Fitzgerald charging in. Series of vicious shots, and my God, brutal kicks to the face. And there's the knockout kick. And Steve Linsky calling the match right there. Fitzgerald snapping and going ballistic with those kicks, giving the victory to Fitzgerald by TKO. Linsky holding him back. Fitzgerald going berserk with those educated feet. A hard-fought effort from Fitzgerald, who leaves the ring victorious and leaves a battered and bloodied Tom Langford in his wake. making a welcome return to the FWA Academy is Jamie Brum, looking in fine condition. The Brum star from East Acton is back in town and looking pumped up and ready to wrestle. Just a second.
For those of you who don't know who I am, and shame on you if you don't, I am the twisted genius, Britain's #1 manager today, the manager of champions. Where I go, success soon follows. Now I know why you are booing me. I know people from Bognor Regis have always been jealous of people like me from a proper seaside city like Brighton. As King George V said on his deathbed, bugger Bognor. No, I'm here for one very good reason. You see, I have a history of managing heavyweight stars. Flash Parker, Justin Richards, Styx, Martin Stone, Paul Burcham. And today marks the start of a new day, the dawn of a new era. For today is the unveiling of my new client. So get up on your feet for LT Summers.
Good Lord. This is LT Summers, the latest protege of the twisted genius, Dean Ayers. Just look at the size of him. Arrogance oozing out of every pore.
Introducing first from London, weighing 180 pounds, Jamie Brum! And his opponent, from a place better than this inbred town,
LT Summers already making a massive impression before he's even made his first move within the ring. Jamie Brum demanding the handshake. LT Summers. Oh, Lord. Enormous big boot, and Jamie Brum thundering in with forearms, rocking Summers in the ropes, ducking a shot and doing everything he can. But the mammoth Summers just flinging him down to the floor. Jamie Brum, however, cutting him off in his reverie, and Summers resorting to flinging him into the barricades. And look at the enormous power of this young man at just 19 years old. A mammoth 6'5". Summers putting the boots in to Jamie Brum. And choking him against the ropes. I think it's pretty clear that this young man is not out to make friends. And hold on just a second. The camera just about caught that, despite Tighe's attempts to make it subtle. LT choking Jamie Brum, but Tighe was doing the same thing. Steve Linsky distracted him, and there we see him. Hold on just a second. Jamie Brum scoring with a forearm, and Jamie Brum using this as a chance to nail a sunset flip. LT Summers looking for that lethal clothesline. And goodness me, scoring with an enormous maneuver, knocking the wind out of the sails of Jamie Brum. Brum staggering to his feet, high knee from Summers, who leans in and decapitates him with a clothesline before performing a few press-ups. The sheer power and mobility of this young man, simply astonishing. Jamie Brum doing his best to fight off the torture rack. And Brum's arm dropping once. And this could well be... I was going to say that could be all, but my goodness me. LT Summers not even giving Brum the hope of a chance of fighting back. Just dropping him with that variation on the F5. And Ayers and Summers having a team talk, but there's a drop kick, and my goodness me, out of nowhere, LT Summers sent careering to the floor. And Jamie Brum doing all he can, but taken off his feet again. Oh, that vicious maneuver. Brum, out of nowhere, a second or third wind, fighting off the ropes. But there, the big boot. And oh, surely not, that could have been it. But LT Summers, having none of it, wishing to make his mark even more on the valiant young Jamie Brum. Brum firing back a series of forearms and climbing to the top rope, looking for a moonsault or something. But it appears we'll never know. Sat up precariously, and what on earth? Oh my God in heaven, he's dead. LT Summers may have just ended the life of Jamie Brum. Shock and awe. LT Summers. Dineas. A dominating performance. And a terrifying display of things to come within the academy.
Don't be so blind, it's telling me all these things that you would probably hide. Am I your one and only desire? Am I the reason you breathe, or am I the reason you cry? a part of your plan. The pistol shaking in my hands, and all I hear is the sound. I love you, I hate you, I can't live without you. I breathe you, I taste you, I can't live without you. I just can't take anymore. This life of solitude. I can't say I'm out the door and that I'm done with you. I love you, I hate you, I can't live without you. I love you, I hate you, I can't live without you. I just can't take anymore. This life of solitude. I picked myself off the floor and now I'm done with you. Always, always,
James Tighe standing atop the middle turnbuckle and looking ready to compete. The tassels are blowing in the breeze. As the packed out Arun Leisure Centre welcomes the first son of the FWA Academy. And entering the ring second, it is none other than the South City Thriller, Hade Vansen. And such an aura of confidence and arrogance emanates from this man. Can almost knock you back. Perhaps that's just the smell. Either way, Vansen, incredibly cocky. This has been perhaps his most successful year yet. Claiming that FWA British title. And the third competitor within this international three-way matchup is none other than Chris Hero of CZW, involved in that epic war with Ring of Honor, one of the top technical wrestlers on the planet and one of the most well-versed wrestlers around. Chris Hero, there is not a style this man does not know. There is not a maneuver this man cannot apply with textbook accuracy and perfection. And Chris Hero coming to really put on a show tonight and show the fans here at the Academy just what it is he is all about. He's ready to give them a hero's welcome indeed. And Chris Hero, astoundingly athletic, as you can see, especially for his size. Perhaps one of the biggest men competing this evening, far larger than many of his competitors across the independent scene. So Chris Hero versus Hade Vansen versus James Tighe it is. And these three pensively circle the ring. And we got a tie-up with Hero with a headlock and James Tighe locking one in of his own. James Tighe, of course, a competitor in that famous matchup at British Uprising 1, along with Raja Ghosh and Jack Xavier. And hold on just a second, Chris Hero, with that incredible lucha training, which he has second to none. A beautiful headlock and head scissors takedown combination. Clothesline duck, Chris Hero rolling through, rolls under a kick by Hade Vansen, and a series of right hands. James Tighe, however, cutting him off, and there is, of course, no love lost between Tighe and Vansen. But Tighe perhaps just diving in tactically, or perhaps a matter of pride in their personal heritage, not wanting to see the Yank get one over these two, or perhaps they just both enjoy uppercutting the living hell out of Hade Vansen. James Tighe throwing in a chop there for good measure. I beg your pardon, replace Chris Hero and Hade Vansen there. And a double backdrop attempt blocked by Chris Hero, who latches on a wrist lock. And James Tighe looking for a shot, a wrist lock there. Chris Hero using that technical wrestling to his advantage. A shot by Vansen, however, putting paid to any frivolousness by Hero, who ducks under. Hold on just a second, reversing that clothesline attempt, using each man against the other. A lovely drop kick. And another. Hero landing flat backed and nipping up to his feet. And Hade Vansen on the outside. Chris Hero charging, leaping to the top rope, and my goodness me, an incredible back somersault to feet, leaping like a spaceman to the top and back down, but James Tighe just nailing him with that German suplex. 1, 2, and a kick out before the 3. Another series of kicks by Tighe, and Vansen, ever so cocky, just pressing Tighe out of the way. And wailing in with a section of chops and punches, good lord. And James Tighe hurling Vansen out of the way, charging in with those double knees. And now it's Vansen's turn. Irish whip. And Vansen with a knee of his own. And an exploder suplex, taking him right over onto the back of his shoulders. 1, 2. James Tighe looking for the cover there. And of course the rules of the three-way coming into effect. Tighe opportunistically looking for the win. It only takes 3 seconds. And all Hade Vansen needed to do was be off his guard for those 3 seconds. And we could have seen a victory by Tighe, an unearned victory you could argue. But such is the nature of the beast. And a lovely lift up into a powerbomb there by Tighe. And Vansen looking for a chop now on Hero. He gets it. Hero doing his best to fight out. He can't quite get it again. A vicious chop. Unprotected to the chest of Hero. And Vansen looking for that lariat. But goodness me, going for a chop. But Hero ducking out of the way, and Tighe catching it square in the chest. Another kick down low. Irish whip, double duck. Tighe looking for a clothesline. Hero, almost an assisted spear. James Tighe flung head first into Hade Vansen. Another very economical use of both wrestlers by Hero. And there's the knockout lariat by Vansen. Looking for the cover, but James Tighe, of course, is right there looking for a cover again. Vansen just calmly dropping a knee. And Hero in a great deal of pain. We've seen that lariat from Vansen put away all number of wrestlers. And these two going at it in exchange of chops and European uppercuts. And an incredible spinning kick there by Vansen. Super kick by Tighe. These two staggering and stumbling. And now Hero back up in time to add to the party. And he's got a selection of chops for these two men. And forearms, Irish whip, over into a suplex, real high angle back suplex. A switch into a roaring elbow. And an innovative cravat-based maneuver. A mixture of a cravat, a chin breaker and a lung blower almost. Vansen firing off with forearms, but lifted straight up into the fireman's carry position. Dropped straight down. And Hero into that incredible backwards roll senton. 1, 2, and a kick out by Vansen before the 3. Hard chop. Irish whip. Reverse, but Hero into a lovely handstand. And Vansen sent to the outside. James Tighe with the Thai fighter. 1, 2, and a kick out only. Hade Vansen back in the ring now. Spinning kick. Irish whip, leg sweep, and Vansen with a kick to the chest, and a charging, diving European uppercut. Vansen, absolutely fantastic and as fluid as Quicksilver. And hold on just a second, Chris Hero on the outside, looking as though he was perhaps planning something, I'm not sure. And a high cross body sending Tighe and Vansen all the way to the outside. And surely not. Hero picking his spots carefully. I'm not sure Vansen and Tighe realise quite what's going on. Hero was on the outside last time they noticed, but Tighe with his wits about him as Hero hits a superb tope directly to the outside. And Tighe is back on his game. Hero knocked down. Vansen still woozy. Tighe sending Hero towards the ring, And Hero risking life and limb, again demonstrating just how athletic he is. But Vansen, my God, a lovely enziguri. And Vansen and Tighe now outside in the crowd. What on earth? James Tighe sat down on a chair and dragged all the way backwards. Whoa! Vicious chop by Hade Vansen. Revving up and scoring with an enormous drop kick to the chest of Tighe. Really knocking him for 6. And Vansen must have taken a bit out of himself there with that one. And referee Steve Linsky being a little bit lenient. Tighe being dragged back towards the crowd now by Vansen. But Hero, of course, has had all this time to recuperate. James Tighe rolling, and Hero with a drop kick and another beautiful nip up to feet. And Hero now with a cravat, taking Vansen all the way over into a somersault neck breaker. 1, 2, and Tighe at the last minute, breaking up the count. These two continuing to bring the hard strikes. Tighe looking as though he's beginning to flag, but no, firing back with another forearm. Tighe woozy, but blocking the lariat. Kick to the gut, looking for the Titanic. He gets it. But hold on a second, Vansen on the top rope. Tighe looking for the cover, and my God, double stomp. Absolutely evil looking. And a quick roll up. Hold on just a second. And there's the victory. I'm not even sure if Chris Hero's shoulder was down there, but Hade Vansen victorious, and goodness me, a little backflip there for good measure. Vansen sticking it to the fans there with a victory over Tighe and Hero. A big win for Vansen. This imposing steel cage structure dominating the skyline here at the Arun Leisure Centre in Bognor, Regis. And the fans expectantly await the entourage, who of course get to enter the cage first. They get that slight advantage to kick things off. And indeed, here they are. Ollie Burns diving around the ringside area, psyched up beyond belief, no doubt. Mark Sloan, the less flamboyant of the two, slapping hands as he makes his way round. These two men know that they are in for a torturous mental and physical wrestling bout. They're entering the cage first. Hopefully they will enter the cage the same way they exit the cage, with all their bodily functions intact, all their limbs fully working. The Entourage versus the Chavs. The second cage match. Sloan and Burns looking to avenge the months of hatred, the bitter rivalry that has burned on and on between these two factions. Burns flinging away his bandana as he enters the cage. Could that be his last? Anything can happen within this unforgiving steel structure. Mark Sloan and Ollie Burns got a taste last time they were in the cage. We saw Harry Mills nearly die when he flung his entire body off the very top of this unrelenting monster. The possibilities are endless and uniformly painful. And now it is time for their opponents, the Chavs, in the form of Harry Mills and new arrival Mark Haskins. The champ, Dan James. The belt cockily draped over his shoulder as a terrified looking Haskins, the newest inductee into the sick thug-like cult of the Chavs. We saw him turn from being a mild-mannered referee, blasting Ollie Burns round the head with a chair, donning the Chav cap and counting to 3, ruining Burns' chances at taking that FWA Academy title for himself. Dan James is the champion. It is due to Mark Haskins in no small part, and Ollie Burns is furious. Harry Mills with that ever inscrutable gaze. You never know quite what's going on within the mind of this disturbed and maniacal individual. It could be anything. Last time we saw Mills with that senton dive off the cage. Who knows what this man is capable of? We have seen him inflict acts of pain upon other wrestlers that are verging on torture. Within the steel cage, there are practically no limits. There is no disqualification, there is no count out. Only a pinfall victory will solidify the decision of this matchup. Haskins looking on in pure terror. Harry Mills within the ring, and Haskins is now in the ring as well, looking pensive with that baseball bat. And Haskins trying to keep it for himself. We're inside the cage and it is all legal. Sloan and Burns rousing the crowd in support of them. This is what they came to see. This is what it's all about. And as the Entourage and Chavs look across the ring at each other, Dan James pacing on the outside, unable really to influence what goes on inside. And perhaps that's the beauty of a cage match. You've got a rivalry as heated and as fierce as this, and it allows the anger to boil over as it's doing now. We got Mark Sloan. A bulldog from Ollie Burns and Mark Sloan with a flat back senton. The Chavs now climbing the cage, and again Haskins doing his utmost to get out of there and leave Harry Mills to take the brunt of the beating. A double back elbow from Sloan and Burns. And Dan James telling Haskins to get back in, help out Harry Mills. And there's a double Mongolian chop to the back. And a lariat with the cat's eye, the Entourage. Their tag team stylings in full force. And Haskins turning around at the wrong time and deciding once more to get straight back out of there. And goodness me, a bit of tough love from within the Chav faction as the terrified Mark Haskins getting slapped round the face by his own leader, his own mentor. And a double slam. And hold on just a second, Ollie Burns with the baseball bat. And once again, Haskins really picking the wrong time. And now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. There is Ollie Burns fuming at the loss. The loss of that title shot by Haskins. Haskins, of course, a one-time official for the Academy. But on the outside, there's Dan James, who'll be prepared to mete out just as much punishment, if not more. And there's that combination of hits by the Entourage. Mills taking a brutal pasting within the cage. And now climbing the top rope, and Haskins and Mills both back up. The Entourage dragged to their feet and slammed into the cage. And now Ollie Burns being taped to the ropes, and all of a sudden Mark Haskins incredibly brave, and Mark Sloan now, the odds are reversed, fighting on his own. And the Chavs, surely not, yes, one of them must own a VCR because they've just been studying some tapes of the Entourage, mimicking that combo, except ending it with a low blow, which is of course legal within this matchup. Not that they care, I'm sure they would have done it anyway. And Ollie Burns, incensed, completely ineffectual. And he's tied up. Irish whip, double knee, clothesline. And just a second, the battered Burns. And the Chavs looking to leave Mark Sloan. Aiming towards his tag partner, but the Chavs deciding to head back into the ring. Ever the innovator. And Mark Sloan ripping Ollie Burns' arm free. But Harry Mills, and good lord, a straight right hand from Haskins, knocking Burns delirious. And Mills choking the daylights out of Sloan. Haskins doing likewise to Burns. This is just a mugging. Double slam by the Entourage. Sent on by Mills. And back sent on by Haskins. Burns still delirious. One arm incapacitated. Irish whip. And a clothesline. And just a second, Haskins has spied the baseball bat. Surely not. And the Chavs sending Sloan off, looking for a baseball bat shot by Mark Sloan. Incredible maneuver, breaking it off. Spin kick to the chin. And charging lariat, taking Harry Mills all the way over onto his head. Clothesline ducked. Big back body drop. Mark Sloan taken over. And again. Haskins choking the daylights out of Sloan. Burns beginning to recover perhaps. Realise his predicament. If he can just get his wits about him, perhaps he could prise that tape off. And good Lord, Mark Sloan out of nowhere. An incredible manoeuvre, dodging out of the way of Haskins and sending Harry Mills tumbling upside down into that turnbuckle. And finally, Burns and Sloan are free. And there's the crossface. And there's the knockout kick. Mills, the lunatic, almost attempting to ascend the cage. And as we've seen before, anything can happen when that man is in a high place. Ollie Burns looking to escape. Mark Sloan doing likewise. Haskins, and good Lord. Mills charging the cage. An absolutely insane onslaught. Broken bodies everywhere, and Burns is back. But there's the baseball bat. However, Mark Sloan with a well-placed kick and an enziguri to the back of the head. Burns with an elbow drop, landing with full force. Exchange of forearms, but Ollie Burns ducking, looking for the Oliver twist. Mills with that fisherman's jackhammer. Clothesline ducked, and Sloan with the tidal wave. Mills destroyed. Shot blocked. But Haskins catching the Sloaner and dropping him straight back down with an incredible pump handle bomb. The leader of the entourage is down. And Haskins looking for something, I don't know if we'll ever know what, because Sloan putting the boots up. Ollie Burns attempting a German suplex. And goodness me, Sloan and Burns in an unusual predicament there. But Mills coming off the top with a DDT, good Lord. There's no end to the limit to which these four men will put their bodies in order to win this matchup. Sloan staggering. Double shot down low by the Chavs. And there's a double Falcon Arrow. Burns is down after that thunderous DDT. And the chavs again contemplating climbing Haskins. So much more confident now after cheating his way back into the cage. It took a slap round the face from his leader, and goodness me, there's one for Ollie Burns. Burns fighting back, however. Crotching Haskins. Hold on just a second. Sloan is down. Mills is up top. My God! Absolute insanity reigns. And I am lost for words. The match is over. The Entourage victorious.
Winners of the steel cage match, Mark Sloan, Ollie Burns, the Entourage.
Broken bodies. Shattered dreams. Ollie Burns and Mark Sloan return the favour in the second cage match. Oh Lord, Mark Haskins flung into the wall of the cage. Harry Mills may well be clinically dead. Haskins, the chavs, the battle ending again inside the cage. And Dan James getting a mouthful of water, raging on angrily at the Entourage within the ring. An incredible effort once more as the Entourage ascend the upper echelons and receive their hard-earned applause. But it wasn't about that. It was about hatred, and it was about rivalry. It was about competition. The Entourage and the chavs took it to each other one more time right here at the Arun Leisure Centre in Bognor, Regis, and this time it was the Entourage who came out victorious. Ollie Burns, Mark Sloan, their bodies have been through hell. Dan James incensed at how the Gallagher. This bizarre yet brilliant young man from the Angel in London. An enigmatic character whose mood and temperament changes like the wind. Gallagher is nonetheless a skilled athlete and a very proficient technical wrestler. Gallagher likes to finish his opponents off with the sharpshooter. He also uses that diamond dust somersault stunner. However, he'll be going up against a very, very, very unusual young man from Japan, going by the name of Kikutaro, and here he is. And Kikutaro, one of the most unusual athletes you will ever see.
Introducing first on my right from the Angel in London, weighing 190.
Giving a friendly wave to the cameras as Gallagher is introduced.
And his opponent from Japan, Kikutaro.
And an unusual reaction for the friendly Kikutaro there. Giving a smiley wave to the locals here in Bognor Regis, and you never know quite what you're going to see from Kikutaro. As we get a collar and elbow tie-up. And a clean break, which Kikutaro approves of. And going back to that lovely friendly hand gesture. He's a very positive person, Kikutaro, so it would seem. And we've got another collar and elbow tie-up. Hold on just a second. Kikutaro firing back with a chop there. Not too much force behind it, but nevertheless, bizarrely enough, it was there. And who knows whether Gallagher will get under the skin of the inscrutable Kikutaro. And goodness me, a chop, and Gallagher responding to a count made from Kikutaro, and referee Steve Linsky a little affronted, and his power is being usurped by the bizarre young man from Japan. And a headlock there by Kikutaro, being flung off the ropes, and a shoulder charging in and simply prodding Gallagher round, and Gallagher returning the favor. Kikutaro there looking for that trip maneuver, and Gallagher hauling up Kikutaro for a slam and a drop kick, sending Kikutaro all the way down to the floor. And Gallagher nonchalantly waiting in the corner. And Kikutaro standing on the apron. The crowd behind Gallagher, who charges in, only for a shot to be blocked. A chop to the chest. And it appears Kikutaro is attempting to emulate. Oh. Well, not quite. I thought we might see a rope walk there from Kikutaro, and indeed he optimistically tried for it. Didn't get too far and instead received a crotching for his efforts. Nevertheless, a work in progress, that maneuver, as Gallagher lifts Kikutaro straight back up. And a suplex dropping the wrestler formerly known as Ebisan back onto his back. And the Gallagher with a lovely diving elbow charge. 1, 2, and a kick out. Chinlock by the Gallagher. Irish whip now, reversed, hard clothesline. Goodness me, a bulldog attempt by Kikutaro goes slightly awry, lands on his prominent behind, and a lovely tornado DDT from the Gallagher. 1, 2, and Kikutaro kicking out. Irish whip. Kikutaro reverses the momentum. Gallagher with a boot. And there's the diamond dust. 1, 2, and a kick out. And Kikutaro proving that he is more than the frivolous wrestler many take him for, kicking out of one of Gallagher's bigger maneuvers, the diamond dust Irish whip. Kikutaro nimbly ambling towards the corner, lifting Gallagher up, and a variation on the one night stand there. Alex Shane's maneuver. 1, 2, and a kick out. Kikutaro, of course, famed for mimicking other wrestlers, perhaps taking a page out of the Show Stealers book. Irish whip. Hold on just a second. The referee, Steve Linsky, whipped in, and Linsky, good lord, being forced to DDT Kikutaro by Gallagher. 1, 2, and there's a kick out. But good lord, Linsky unwittingly getting interjected into the action, getting flung into the buckle. That takes a great deal of strength. Irish whip. And goodness me, Linsky charging in again, but this time giving an unwitting clothesline to the Gallagher. And there's the Shining Wizard. Kikutaro with the cover. 1, 2, and 3. We saw some bizarre moments within the matchup, but it was all business in the end, as Kikutaro got the job done with the Shining Wizard knee strike. Shades of the Great Muta there, as Gallagher is knocked for 6 by Kikutaro, and the fans not knowing quite how to react to this young man. And not quite as friendly there from Kikutaro, although that smiling demeanor. There we go. Perhaps a little misunderstanding. Shaking hands with Steve Linsky and maintaining the peace sign. And flashing one to the Gallagher as well. Linsky and Kikutaro, partners in crime, giving the fans a send-off.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who had a mind to disagree? Travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them
This tag team contest is set for one fall. Introducing first.
Dan Head and Doug Williams. An imposing team taking on another imposing team from Japan. Dan Head stepping up to the plate in another enormous challenge for this incredibly talented young man. Master of the education and the flying headbutt. Dan Head carried the FWA Academy Championship belt longer than any other wrestler. He lost it in controversial circumstances to Dan James, but Dan Head is still at the top of the bill, along with Doug Williams, in what promises to be an epic tag team matchup, pitting the best from the UK in Doug Williams, the best from the Academy in Dan Head, versus two of the best from Japan, Kanemaru and Sugiura.
Introducing first from the Sloan bench weight 230 pounds, he is the anarchist, Doug Williams. And his partner from Bottom in Portsmouth, weighing 190 pounds, Dan Head. And their opponents from Nagoya, Japan, Takashi Sugiura. And his partner from Yamanashi, Japan, Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
And here we go. Williams Head, Kanemaru and Sugiura, and the smaller of the two men, Kanemaru and Dan Head, locking up. Hard shoulder, Dan Head leaping over and scoring with a leg lariat. Dan Head taking him down with a beautiful arm drag as well. And there's another Dan Head looking absolutely fantastic. And Head having a quick word in the ear of the far more experienced Doug Williams, whom Dan Head, of course, faced on that night at the very first Academy Supercard, where he toppled the mammoth Mark Underwood. It was a round-robin tournament. We saw Underwood, Williams and Head, and it was Dan Head who came out victoriously on that night. Back then, they were opponents. Tonight, they're in the same corner, and Dan Head can learn so much from the anarchist Doug Williams, the man who is indeed the standard bearer in the UK. Dan Head, however, has more pressing concerns in the form of a headlock being turned directly into a chin lock now, raising the ire of the anarchist. Dan Head searching for a way out, which he finally finds. And a beautiful fireman's carry there by Dan Head. And Dan Head, every inch, the wrestler. But Kanemaru stepping backwards, and it appears that Doug Williams has bigger fish to fry in the form of Sugiura. This man, absolutely terrifying, incredibly imposing, an all-round athlete who has competed in shoot fighting matches in Japan. He's got the cauliflower ears to prove it. He's a man you certainly would not want to meet down a dark alley, if indeed he can fit down a dark alley. He is built like the proverbial brick outhouse. And look at these two going at it. We've got headlock takedowns, Doug Williams nipping out, and what an exchange from these two men. Collar and elbow tie-up. Doug Williams reversing a waist lock into a hammerlock, headlock, and headlock takedown. Rolled onto his back. And again. Williams flung into the corner of his opponent, however. And Kanemaru's in the ring. We've got a wrist lock. Doug Williams rolling through, picking the leg, and rolling him over. Williams incredibly smooth. His mat wrestling, yet so unbelievably painful. And Williams teasing the right hand. I don't think our officials will be too pleased with that. But Doug Williams instead responding to that forearm with one of his own and continuing to apply the cross leg hold. And there's a tag. Dan Head in the ring. And there's a headbutt. Headlock takedown. Dan Head kicking out. Another. And again a kick out from Head. A third time, Dan Head rolling all the way over. Dan Head sent off the ropes, but no, blocking. And reverting to a drop toe hold there. Lovely stuff. Dan Head preventing Kanemaru from using the rope's momentum against him. And a tag back in to the Anarchist. Doug Williams wrenching on that headlock in old British style. Hard series of forearms to the gut. And Doug keeping it locked in. Hard shoulder block. And Williams with a vicious European uppercut. Kanemaru fighting back with one of his own. Williams responding with another lightning quick, only to receive one more. And a poke to the eyes there from Doug Williams. Little cheeky poke. As Dan Head fires off with a double axe handle, only to be taken down into a back suplex. And a tag in to the big man. Now it's Dan Head and Sugiura in the ring. And a concrete block-like forearm. Dan Head looking up. Absolutely winded. And a suplex attempt blocked by Dan Head, who blocks again and fires back with one of his own. Another hard forearm, this time from Dan Head, who wails off with three. And Doug Williams now in, putting the boots methodically to Sugiura, and a hard forearm from Williams. Irish whip. Charging back elbow from the Anarchist. 1, 2, and a kick out. Body slam. Williams dropping 2 knees, and there's the trademark third. 1, 2, no, just a 1 count. Sugiura with great ring awareness, latching on to that bottom rope straight away. Tag in to Dan Head. And Dan Hade coming off the middle with a well-placed axe handle. Chin lock by Hade. As Sugiura's tag partner looks on in concern. Breaking out, and there is a vicious boot straight to the face. Simple but effective as Dan Hade is flung to the outside. And battered head first into the ring post, good lord. And a chair shot to the gut. Just sending Dan Hade's internal organs into convulsions as the two Japanese wrestlers straight from Noah in Japan busting out illegal tactics in this matchup, and referee Steve Linsky really needing to be in two places at once here as Doug and Sugiura argue in the ring. But on the outside, the real damage is being done to Dan Hade with a chair. Irish whip in by Sugiura. And Dan Hade placed in the tree of woe position. A beautiful baseball slide. And another enormous drop kick. Dan Hade dropping down. But kicking out at 2. Dan Hade, such a fighter. Always ready to soldier on and continue if he can at any chance. Back body drop. Dan Hade flung high into the ring. And punted square in the back. Nothing fancy, just brutally effective. Series of stomps as Doug Williams rallying the troops from the middle rope and now beckoning Dan Hade over to make that crucial tag. Dan Hade slammed down, back first, and a tag into Sugiura. These two working so well together, methodically taking Dan Hade apart. And Sugiura looking for a Boston Crab, he gets it. And this could well spell the end for Dan Hade. Dan Hade shaking his head. Sugiura leaning back, and just look at the malice on his face. And there we go. Dan Hade grabbing the bottom rope. But a hairy moment there for the two Brits. As Sugiura, good lord, a kick straight to the chest. And a cocky cover. Dan Hade raising one shoulder without too much trouble. But he's still definitely the worse for wear. Sugiura looking almost angry that this indignant young man from the UK could have the impudence and nerve to kick out at that brash one-footed cover. And Kanemaru now in the ring. And Doug Williams wanting to ensure that there is no foul play. Hold on just a second. Kanemaru using his wrist tape to choke out Dan Hade. There it is. And the referee's not seeing it. And bitter irony for Doug Williams and Dan Hade, because Linsky busy distracted by Doug Williams' irate outburst, unable to view the event itself taking place. Another kick, and Dan Hade dropping straight down onto his back. And a body slam down. Beautiful maneuver there. Slingshot sent on into the ring. And a kick out by Hade. Hard forearm by Sugiura. Doug Williams must be getting increasingly frustrated, and good lord, there's an enormous Yakuza kick straight to the face, and another one taking Dan Hade's face off both times. But Dan Hade breaking out. A series of forearms. Sugiura barely rocked. Clothesline ducked, and Dan Hade with a charging forearm, and there he gets it. Sugiura grabbing on to Dan Hade's left leg. Hade looking to make the tag. But there's an enziguri for good measure. And there's the anarchist into the ring with a beautiful flying European uppercut. Irish whip. High knee. And a big back suplex for the silky smooth technician. And Doug Williams with a middle rope flying headbutt variation. Perhaps talking tactics with Dan Head earlier in the back. Irish whip to the corner, high knee again. And there's a spear out of nowhere. And a quick tag in. Dan Head just about back up on the apron, but Sugiura turning the tide. Doug Williams doing the same, but a drop kick to the leg. Williams fighting off. Irish whip. But there's a tilt-a-whirl DDT by Sugiura. And a middle rope DDT. Doug Williams' head drove into the surface of the mat. And a foot on the ropes gets the job done for Williams. Suplex now. Sugiura landing behind. Williams doing the same. And there was a low blow. Steve Linsky allowing the match to continue. But Williams with a shot to the derby and a gut-wrench suplex. Taking Kanemaru over. Irish whip reverse. Clothesline ducked. And Dan Head firing off with a charging headbutt. Shots blocked now. And there's Dan Head with those trapping headbutts. And in comes Sugiura and Dan Head. Likewise. Giving Sugiura the treatment. But a shot to the back. The two crafty Japanese wrestlers back on top. A double clothesline from the plucky Head. And a clothesline high knee double team by Doug Williams and Dan Head. Dan Head drilling him down with a complete shot. There's a knee drop. And Dan Head with the cover. But Sugiura back in the ring to break things up. Doug Williams quick as a flash straight back on Sugiura, who's rolled to the outside. Dan Head climbing up top. But there's a drop kick. Dan Head hit gut first. Irish whip. Kanemaru into the corner, Sugiura doing the same. And carrying Dan Head out. Beautiful maneuver. Snapshot variation by the two Noah Stars. Doug Williams just about breaking it up, flung straight back to the outside. The two Japanese men attempting to isolate one opponent in time to get a maneuver. And a moonsault off the top, but Dan Head rolling in. No can do as Dan Head charges off with another charging headbutt. Both men are down. And Dan Head tagging into Williams. Sugiura in the ring. Hard boot to the face. Doug Williams responding in kind as these two men pummel the absolute living hell out of each other. And my God, how much can one man withstand? Sugiura maybe not giving up, but changing tactics. A kick to the gut. And unbelievable strength. A standing backdrop from Sugiura just lifting Doug Williams up. And a deadlift. A deadlift into a gut wrench on Doug Williams. Scary stuff from this man. And a German suplex attempt. Doug Williams taken down with another vicious spear. Dan Head drop kick to the outside. This could be it. Beautiful German suplex into a perfect bridge. Doug Williams just about kicking out. Dan Head battered on the outside by Kanemaru. And Olympic slam attempt there. But Doug Williams looking for the chaos theory. Irish whip on the outside. There's a German suplex. Williams with a beautiful arch, but a kick out again. Incredible neck strength from both men. Dan Head now on top on the outside. Hard series of forearms. Both men colliding. And goodness me, battering each other in the face simultaneously. Doug Williams moving out of the way. Sugiura hits viciously, shoulder first. And Doug Williams taking Sugiura up top. And surely not. That vicious top rope reverse suplex. Kanemaru just in time to break it up. Flung back to the outside. And Dan Head coming off the top rope with a headbutt as well. Doug Williams leaping on for the cover. And there we go, it's all over. Team UK scoring the victory against the Stars from Noah in Japan. Absolutely stellar work from all four men. Dan Head and Doug Williams picking up a huge win against Kanemaru and Sugiura. The fans appreciative of the efforts of both men. And Doug Williams looking in absolutely phenomenal shape after a grueling matchup. Dan Head likewise, as a dejected Noah tag team leaves the ring. And the arms of Head and Williams raised in victory as they shake hands triumphant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once more here at the FWA Academy with a supercard here at the Arun Leisure Centre, Bognor, Regis. We hope to see you soon. It's been an incredible night, capped off with a fantastic victory for these two men. We'll see you again, same time next month.